The leader of the most populous party, the Conservative Party in UK, KEMI Badenoch, has replied the Vice President of Nigeria, and that have left the Vice President in very serious shock, panic, and tears. She never expected such coming from KEMI. Now, this bombshell have left the Vice President devastated. Being a Yoruba is my true identity, and I refuse to be lumped with northern people of Nigeria who were our ethnic enemies. Wow, that is very interesting. I told him to his face that she, as a Yoruba, has nothing to do with the North, the Boko Haram. It's describing Boko Haram and the North as the project of an average Northerner, that she has nothing in common with the North or the Boko Haram. Of course, she identified with her Yoruba race, her people, and this is just the case. Continuing, Badenoch records how her surname was linked to a warrior and protector of the crown, adding that she was ready to die protecting the country, United Kingdom. Somebody once told me when I was very young that my surname was identified with people who were warriors. They protected the crown, and that is what I see myself doing. I am here to protect, and I will die protecting this country, United Kingdom, because I know what is out there. Wow, that is quite interesting. She has nothing to do with one Nigeria, and that is her position. Where she even called out that one Nigeria is an enemy of the ethnic enemies, means that it is an arch enemy, known enemy. You know, they call the Afonjas, and how the Yoruba dynasty in Ilori was dethroned, overrun, and reoccupied by the Fulani oligarchies. And today, Ilori is known as a Fulani Caliphate, an extension of the Fulani Caliphate. She understood uh, the history of her people, and that have not been taken away from her. That being a Yoruba is my true identity, and I refuse to be lumped with northern people of Nigeria. I refuse to be lumped, to be joined together, to be forced together, to be one. That is just her position, just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has maintained that we have no cultural, religious values affiliations together. We don't share the same values, the same ideology, the same culture, and the same background, the same instructions. What then makes us one? Not the same language. That differs by great uh, instance. So why should we be called the same? So people are now rising, speaking up. The truth can be hidden. So you could see the like of Kemi that have accomplished great feats, identifying with the United Kingdom and her Yoruba tribe as her ancestral link, having nothing to do with Nigeria or even the North, which she describes as a heaven for Islamism and Boko Haram. You know what Boko Haram represents? One of the deadliest terrorist groups satisfied by international bodies. And it's quite unfortunate. I hope Shettima will go back to the drawing board. Who knows west? Who knows next what he might come up with? I mean, the Shettima, in order to uh, counter attack at the position of Kemi. Yes, is that no Boko Haram in the north? Is Islamism or Islamization not the agenda of an average northerner? Because even the representatives, members from the House of Representatives, we are canvassing, advocating for Islamization, the Sharia. to extend the Sharia as a public law that will be enforced on all Nigerians, to be adopted as a national law. You know what that means? I'm not talking about development, how they will prefer solutions to the Islamization, Boko Haram, and the menace uh, that has caused the northern populations. So Kerry wouldn't be far from the truth. That don't identify me with one Nigeria. I am not a part of Islamism, a country that drives, that cherishes Islamism, that cherishes uh, inhibition, that violate people's right, fundamental right to religion affiliations. That is not who she is and can never be forced to be part of such entity. God forbid, according to her, she felt so dismayed. Let us know what is your own reaction regarding this development. It is quite interesting, happening in our time. It is no longer an issue of denial. Of course, it's coming up starting at odds today. That no matter how long you tend to cover up the truth cannot be hidden by anyone. It will be assumed, and that is just the time people are becoming more politically conscious, aware of who they are, where they come from, having less attention, identification with the Nigerian projects. They believe an Igbo man in UK we gather not just as a Nigerian, but as an Igbo. Of course, the Yoruba the same way are being known by their ethnic nationality, identity. The same way happens to an Edo man where he travels the world over. They will have an Edo meeting where they meet on monthly basis or whatever, quarterly, because of their cultural identity and heritage. They want to protect that. But here in Nigeria, the political class want that to be swallowed up because of their selfish interests. They want to protect their dynasty, political dynasty, and at the expense of people's cultural and religious affiliations. Well, whatever happens, Kemi has been brought to confront these irregularities and say, distant me from whatever you're talking. What the nonsense is that? That I should remove my Kemi, which is my identity, and adopt your identity as Boko Haram, identity as a Northerner. That is aren't unacceptable, and you should be warned because I can't take that shit. Otherwise, we'll end in ICC. You know what that means? She's not just a small lady, a small fish in the shallow ocean. She's a very big woman, and you know what that means? Be the leader of a conservative party, one of the biggest party in the world. You can't take her for a ride. This is not Nigeria agenda or Nigerian issue that you can do anyhow and sweep under the carpet. No, the law, of course, will take its course. Be careful, be warned. I'm not a Nigerian. I'm a Yoruba and identify with my people. Considering the North as their arch enemy, ethnic enemies. Wow, this is very strong, very shock. Wow, this revelation, of course, will shook the whole world. The foundation of Aso Rock must be shaken at this time because of this revelation coming from a very notable personality that has no fear or favor, of course, in expressing her own opinion, because it's the right of a people which she has expressed in UK to identify herself and protect her own opinion, sanity. She said, I can't lose my sanity identifying with Nigeria. It means I'm losing my sanity, and that is just as what Mazem Namdekan, the reason why he's been still incarcerated. Today, people are calling for identification, identity preservation, identity, the preservation of their cultural heritage, of their identity, of their cultures and values. You can't just sweep it under the carpet under one Nigeria, which is not working. It has not worked for the Northerners. Otherwise, there won't be IDPs scattered all over. There will be in unimaginable level of poverty. If Nigeria has worked for the North, they can't be talking about becoming the center of poverty. It is something to be celebrated. Is poverty a value? Is it a virtue? It's not a virtue. If you have not done something meaningful for your people, why should you allow, why should you want to be lumped with others? Why should you want to force yourself on Nigerians? If Nigeria did not represent Nigeria, nobody should desire to be a Nigeria because it has nothing, no value to add to anyone. Just as Kemi has expressed herself, what you only got there is Islamizations and not is the order of the day. Peoples are not given the right to express themselves, given opportunity to build their future and prepare for the future. Out of school children are in their millions, tens of millions, only in the north. There is high rate of poverty in the north. There is high rate of out of school children in the north. There is high rates of hunger in the north. But what should be the if not should be a typical example of Nigeria? Should that be desired by anyone? That is the position of Kemi. Don't identify me with a failing state. I am not. I am a Yoruba and I maintain my identity. I have nothing in common, of course, with the not the Boko Haram, the Islamization agenda, the safe haven for terrorism, and whatever you can imagine horrible events. Whatever happens, unfortunately, the voiceless northerners or defenseless northerners have to bear the brunt, but then they must rise to right the wrongs. Otherwise, people, most ethnic nationalities, will not have anything to identify themselves with the North. The North has the arable land, they have the opportunities to advance themselves, but they decided to do otherwise for whatever of its reason, but it's best known to them. Let us have your take in this development. As Kemi fires back, of course, to Shettima Katzim, the vice president, who once have asked her to renounce her identity and adopt one Nigeria as her identity. Kemi has proven him wrong that you can't dare that. If you are doing that to other Nigerians, well, they allowed you to do so. But I am a Yoruba woman. I can't take that nonsense from anyone. I'm a Yoruba, and you have no right to ask me or to identify who I am. I am who I am, and that you cannot change, regardless of your opinion or frustration. Let's get to know what is your own take regarding this development, and of course, fire off from there. Thank you for watching.